Hello, fabulous superstar Virgo. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of June 2025. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. And a limited number of consultations are available with me or with Andy of Wise Ass Astrology over the course of this summer. New dates have just been released of availability. You can learn a lot more and book your reading now. Links are below. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And boy, are these moves big. They are massive. They are Jupiter. Yes, Jupiter is changing signs on the 9th of the month. That is the big news this month. And wherever Jupiter goes, it tends to magnify blessings. It brings protection and it brings positive evolution. However, sometimes we don't realize what's happening is actually good. And sometimes that sense of what is protection, what is blessings, is more about where closures are taking place. In the case of a month like this, it is the uncomfortable closures that feel disappointing, that feel like the opposite of what it is we really want, that ends up contributing to the biggest blessings, especially at a time like this. It is going to be on the 9th of the month that Jupiter is going to move into a friendship part of your sky. And it is here that Jupiter will light up a part of the sky where there's more social invitations, there are more interactions with other people, whether that is in a group dynamic, a professional dynamic, a chance to join group endeavors, or it might be more in terms of nurturing and fortifying your connections and relationships with the more personal friendships that you have in your life. But right out of the gate, as this energy begins and we move forward, it is going to be over the course of the 15th and 19th, respectively, that Jupiter will first square Saturn with precision and then square Neptune. As soon as Jupiter changes signs, we're going to be feeling these energies of tension. Now, there is some motivation here, but I see this as having to face our own disappointments in a larger sense. And for you, disappointments in people, friends that you thought were going to come through for you, were going to help facilitate maybe big opportunity for you. You thought by joining a particular group endeavor or alliance that would help you by participating in certain memberships. And now here you are on the other side and you're having to evaluate how you feel about particular people and where it is that some of your expectations are reasonable, but also where it is that they really are not. And so, yes, it might be at this time that it feels as if certain disappointments stir for you and they don't always feel comfortable. And yet there's also the real promise here of moving in a direction of greater empowerment, greater upliftment, greater ease through others. But it doesn't feel that way at first, especially in the first weeks of this powerful new transit that's going to take us forward for just over a year from here, with Jupiter blessing this friendship part of your sky. So we get those squares. Now we navigate forward. Over the course of the 22nd and 23rd, the Sun is going to square Saturn and Neptune before catching up to Jupiter and meeting Jupiter on the 24th. Then on the 25th, we have a new moon that is hand in hand with Jupiter and the Sun as well. So ordinarily, if it was just the Sun meeting Jupiter, well, that's what some astrologers like to call the luckiest day of the year. But this year, it's kind of like it's the luckiest day, but then it wasn't. It's the luckiest day, but also one of the more disappointing days, one of the more disillusioning days. It's lucky in terms of what will be revealed in the fullness of time, but it feels uncomfortable or uncertain in the moment. So much of the characteristic of this luckiest day of the year is about how it sets the stage for greater blessings to find us in the fullness of time as we navigate forward over the course of this larger transit. Now, Jupiter conjunct a new moon, that would make it the luckiest new moon of the year, a lucky new beginning. But again, we get those squares of Saturn and Neptune in the mix. But here's the thing, at least where it comes to that new moon energy, we are going to have Mars speaking in harmony with that triple conjunction of Jupiter, the Sun, and the Moon. And to me, that represents real empowerment. And for you, it is going to be Mars newly in your sign after this larger Mars retrograde season, where Mars was spending a lot of time in a friendship part of the sky and then a lot of time in the sign before yours, and lots is stirring on levels of soul, psyche, and spirit with that. Now here we are on the other side. Mars enters your sign mid-month, and this is where something within you feels awake, alert, and alive. There's a desire to live that much more fully, to take ownership that much more fully for all it is that you might be feeling or experiencing within. And it is Mars speaking in harmony with this configuration that says you are feeling lit up by the possibilities. Yes, there's disappointment, but there's also promise that you can take action to empower yourself, that the right people, the right friends who really matter, they're going to be there, and they're going to remind you of your power. They're going to encourage you to cultivate your own meaningful strength now and going forward from here. Now, I marched forward with this Jupiterian energy so quickly. Let me bring it back and talk about this month's full moon. And that takes place on the 11th. And with all this focus on friendships and group dynamics and how other people add to your life and how other people don't, well, it might surprise you to have this energy there just before we kick into high gear with all that social energy. Well, it's like you got to go home or be home in some way at that time. We are going to have a full moon at the foundation of your chart, having to do with home, the past, your living situation, and your family of origin where that applies. But here's the thing, that full moon is one that is very fortunate. It is speaking in supreme harmony with Mars. Mars is in the sign just before yours. So this is where, seemingly out of nowhere, there can be a sense of excitement, a party, a gathering, an understanding that you might reach, a sense of something transitioning in a positive sense that brings with it genuine joy. So if ever there was a time to trust the impetus to be home, however it is that you define home to be, that could be a country or a city or your actual family members. That might be your living space as well, or a neighborhood as well. Well, this is a time when those opportunities to reconnect to your roots might feel like they come really quickly. They propel you to action and you leap forward. And as a result, you feel that much more grounded, that much more connected in very quick ways. Now, where it comes to matters of love, I think the very big news for you is that on the 17th of the month, Mars enters your sign for about a month and a half. And Mars in your sign brings with it a sense of wanting to connect with others, quite literally in some cases, because it is the body that starts feeling more alive. There's a sense of being attracted to others, wanting to connect with others, being motivated to have others connect with you, and that can have you feeling courageous and taking chances now. Mars is the other love planet besides Venus. Venus is about the allowing. It's the sitting back. It's about the flow. But Mars goes out and gets it, whatever it wants. And that includes romantic moments. Now, in the days right after Mars enters your sign, Mars will immediately connect in harmony with Jupiter and then connect in harmony with the sun. And all of that suggests that you see the benefits. You're feeling rewarded. You're feeling good. You're feeling strong. You're feeling excited about the prospects in love, of being out there. You're energized by the possibilities. So for those of you open to meeting someone new, this energy is best suited for those of you open to meeting someone new because it brings with it a sense of self-knowledge enough to put yourself out there, but also a sense of motivation to take the steps that you need so that you're actually connecting with other people in person in real time. You're able to spur to action very quickly, and as part of that, very likely are going to be connecting with some interesting people where you feel a genuine attraction at a time like this. For those of you just starting to date someone, once Mars enters your sign and the days after, it does look like you're that much more open to having moments with this person, excited about the prospects, and there could be an increase of intimacy at this time as well. But for all that, if you feel that this might not be someone to navigate forward with. It really is about listening to yourself and honoring what it is that you want, because that same part of you that might feel spurred in one direction just might find another place and another way to direct that energy. And for those of you in an established bond, the overwhelming majority are going to find yourselves lit up, excited, wanting to do things with your partner, wanting to try new things, be more active together as a pair. That can be part of strengthening the bond. But there is going to be that small percent. Look, if you felt that you might not be in the right relationship for you, Mars entering your sign can make a person impatient, downright antsy. It can make a person more likely to see faults in the partner, but that only happens when you're not taking ownership for Mars energy, meaning that this is an energy of change, of transformation. It's an energy that invites you to identify what you have power over and what you don't, and to focus entirely on where your power is and work towards the changes that you desire. That's where your strength is now. And if you're not doing that, well, yeah, getting impatient with your partner is a possible consequence. But if it really is that you have felt that you're not in the right relationship for you, boy, is Mars in your sign going to make it more tough, because there tends to be less patience with this. And that includes where it is you've been putting off what it is that you're ready to change. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a powerful and meaningful astrological moment. I'm going to say I love the energy of, well, I think that we have these big energies. Yeah, Jupiter changing signs is a very big deal. I think a lot of us are going to benefit from that. However, even with that, because of how the energy starts off with some disappointment as part of the mystery of opening up greater blessings, well, look, that's there. But at the same time, we do have Mars entering your sign mid-month. And what that tells me is something within you will feel more awake, more alert, more alive, and more excited about the whole business of living your life in that much more a way that feels hands-on, that feels exciting, and cultivating genuine enthusiasm of the things you have yet to move towards. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate over at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com or thefutureismagical.com. Higher tiers get you things like all access passes to Synchronicity University events, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. Links are below. Thank you again for watching. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.